So we just got even more new gameplay details for Hogwarts Legacy, a first ever look at the game's art book, confirming cool new features and secret areas, as well as lots more to talk about in this video. With less than a month before the game's launch, it seems that the following days and weeks will become a lot more interesting, so let's dive right in. Also, to celebrate the launch of Hogwarts Legacy, I'm doing another giveaway. The previous one just ended, so a huge congrats to the previous winner. As always, to win a copy yourself, make sure you subscribe to the channel, leave a like on this video, and comment down below what you love about this game, and I'll reach out to the winner directly at the end of the giveaway. But the new art book reveals a ton of interesting new details and hints towards new features, including important areas that we might get to visit. One of the key destinations we'll visit is obviously in Hogsmeade, and it's called Honeydukes shop, also featuring in many of the movies and the previous Harry Potter games. The shop was established in 1641, and because of its abundance of wizarding candy, including the very well-known chocolate frogs that they sell, it quickly became one of the top destinations for Hogwarts students when visiting Hogsmeade during the weekends and Christmas holidays. Now, why are the chocolate frogs of any relevance? Well, because according to the lore, they can hold a random wizard trading card inside of them. This could mean there's a strong possibility we might even get to see these in-game as part of some kind of collection or special achievement. Not only would they feature some of the most famous wizards and witches, but they were oftentimes also collected and traded by other students. And who knows, Avalanche Studios might have gone a step above that too, with additional gameplay functions serving as inspiration from previous Harry Potter games, such as, for example, combining certain cards allowing you to cast the spell called Tempest in the Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone video game. And guess what? That also seems to be part of this game as well. Additionally, there were other uses, for example, at gaining access to exclusive areas or serving as clues for hidden secrets, all the way to increasing some of the player's stats, such as the stamina bar. So no doubt, if this is indeed part of the game, we'll somehow have to find the remaining cards through different means, possibly even exploration related ones, buying the chocolates, and maybe even trading with other students, all sounding very exciting to me. On the other hand, Honeydukes serves another purpose, as it also connects directly to Hogwarts through a secret passageway leading all the way into the shop's cellar. Though it was advised to only use that passageway to go from the school to the shop and not the other way around, mainly because of some of the obstacles inside of it. So what if this is a quick shortcut that we can take in-game to reach Hogsmeade faster, or maybe something that we can use during certain missions for possible escape reasons? That, or even sneaking out of Hogwarts at night, all sound plausible to me, because its other end actually connects just behind the statue of Gunhilda back at the castle's 3rd floor. In some of the previous Harry Potter games, the player could even use Descendium, the one-eyed witch spell, to open up the secret passage behind of it and gain access to that secret tunnel. And I believe this is something that we could learn a lot more and how to cast at some point in the game, after maybe taking part in Professor Ronen's charm classes, as we see the spell being hinted in some of the early gameplay reveals right here on the walls. In any case, I'm looking forward to how this will all be possible, because I'm already impressed by how many uses just a single spell can have in Hogwarts Legacy. In a new gameplay footage, we have a better breakdown of Accio, the summoning charm. We saw plenty of footage of it being used to retrieve the flying field guide pages that we of course need for our collection and a special achievement, but it's just as important in solving puzzles or when playing minigames by pulling things towards you. Its usefulness goes beyond that, as combat-wise this is also the main way to make normal-sized enemies be pulled towards you so that you can combo them with other spells. We finally also got a better look at Incendio and a first look at its icon, so at the very least we can add that to the list we made a while ago. And surprisingly, this has more than one use as well, other than just pure combat. One such use is lighting up the torches in underground tunnels as outlined in this gameplay shot. This could be a great way to complement Lumos, another spell that lights areas up, so that instead of constantly holding the wand up to see ahead, we could just light some of these torches and then focus on casting other spells in case there's enemies around us. That's or maybe even solve puzzles or at the very least clear out areas such as ones blocked by spider webs. Finally, there's an additional better look at the upgraded version of Incendio, which also casts that ring of fire that we saw in some of the early on gameplay reveals at this level 25 poacher enemy. As we've known from previous reveals, this is an upgrade that comes from your skill tree, and seemingly other spells have other similar upgrades as well. And obviously also a first look at the poachers themselves, which are a new enemy type that we didn't properly see before. We do know that this is a type of encounter that we will find at these various creature kind of like hiding spots that we do need to save from the poachers and then bring back to our vivarios. But judging by the icons and the minimap here, it's possible that their presence is more prevalent, as this hints towards a more dangerous kind of enemy camp that does hold these poachers. There's other cool details into that you likely spotted, like for example, there's another angle of the library in the first gameplay shot, which also appears to be much bigger than we thought, with the 2 floors that are accessible, and another look at the mines area from a different angle. And of course, the fact that the footage is also likely captured on the PlayStation 4, judging by how the menu buttons look like. But since we talked about secret areas, another interesting fact comes from the Restful Room page. This area was already confirmed in-game by some of the early on bathhouse footage, but the art book also makes a reference towards Myrtle's haunted bathroom. Of course, that character and her murder haven't happened yet in the game's time, but if you watch the second Harry Potter movie, this is how the entrance to the Chamber of Secrets is discovered, basically in this very bathroom. Coincidence or not, the entrance to the chamber actually had changed a few times across history because of the castle's increasingly more elaborate plumbing. And surprisingly, the last change happened in the 18th century, so technically the sink that opens up the path towards the Chamber of Secrets is there in Hogwarts Legacy too. Not only that, but according to the lore, there's clear evidence that the Chamber of Secrets has been opened up more times between its creation in the first millennium and the events of the movie and even the 20th century, possibly leaving room for one more opening during the game's timeline. Of course, this is mostly speculation for now, but I just don't see Avalanche letting such an opportunity pass by if there is lore to support it. In any case, the reveals ended with a first look at some of the more important potions we'll get to craft in Hogwarts Legacy. One of them is the Wiggenweld potion that we actually use for healing our character by combining 1 drop of Horklum juice and a batch of Dittany leaves. This has its own dedicated section right next to the health bar instead of the L1 menu, likely indicating that this is going to be a very important potion that we want to carry with us at all times. Furthermore, the recipe for the Wiggenweld can be bought from Pippin's potion shop back in Hogsmeade for just 1 gold. So this raises the question, is this the very first potion that we get to learn about in Hogwarts Legacy? Another one is the Edurus potion that we saw in previous gameplay videos, and it's useful at providing extra protection against tougher enemies by turning your skin rock solid. We make this by combining Ashwinder eggs with mongrel fur, and we do know that some of these ingredients can be found out in the wild by collecting them, while others like the mongrel furs might drop from the wolf enemies. And finally, we also have the creature taming, which is another source of some of these remaining mats, and you will have to tame and care for them before they give you these important items that you need for crafting and for brewing. Nonetheless, there's one final aspect I want to talk about, and that's the contents page of the art book, and I will also issue a mild spoiler warning because it does seem to feature some of the stuff that we're going to be able to do in the early stages. So if you don't want to see some of that, maybe just click off this video for now, but I don't think it's anything that you could have not just figured out for yourselves anyway. But it seems that as early as chapter 1, we will get to learn about our ability to cast ancient magic, and connecting the dots, we know from previous reveals that soon after, the Ministry of Magic learns about our special powers and provides us with the Wizard's Fielding Guide as part of our enrollment at Hogwarts, where we'll learn to perfect our powers. The first gameplay reveal already made it clear that the house choice comes soon after that, and from the recent tweets, even though you'll still go through the ceremony of the sorting hat, we do have a final say in which of the 4 houses we get to join. However, all this transpires looking at the chapter contents. It seems that Avalanche has done a great job at introducing us progressively to each of the game's major mechanics, one by one, including, for example, with the Room of Requirement around chapter 3, and all of the other like open world related stuff that comes after that in some of the later chapters, as well as the exploration. And I'm pretty sure that chapter 4, animating the beast, is likely a reference to mounts and creature taming before moving on to some of the more advanced stuff. So for now, I think that this is a pretty good indication of how we will spend the early hours of the game once it launches next month. This is pretty much it with the recent news. All looks exciting. As always, if you want to see more Hogwarts Legacy related stuff, totally subscribe to the channel, leave a like and comment down below, or maybe check some of the previous videos where we also broke down some of the other gameplay reveals we've seen thus far. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.